Hey guys, LevelCap here, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming. DICE will be releasing a potential fix to the stuttering currently plaguing Battlefield 1. This issue has been affecting people across all platforms on Battlefield 1 since the Apocalypse release. For some players, it's made the game virtually unplayable, lagging every time they score points. DICE has put a rush order on the fix, but it's likely that people will have to deal with the stuttering all through the weekend. Overall, though, it does appear that the Apocalypse DLC has drawn quite a bit of criticism from the player base. A large area of criticism has been the lack of the standard Conquest game mode. Conquest Assault was introduced in Battlefield 1 with the previous DLC Turning Tides. That DLC only offered standard Conquest on one map. Apocalypse also only offers standard Conquest on one map, Passchendaele. While Conquest Assault certainly has its place in Battlefield 1, it's disappointing that we've gotten two DLCs that barely support the game's most popular mode. I, and many other players in general, don't find Conquest Assault to be particularly enjoyable. DICE have added new game modes to maps that previously didn't support them, so hopefully it won't be too much trouble for them to update the new maps with standard Conquest support. That said, DICE haven't said anything about bringing back standard Conquest to the new maps, so it's anyone's guess if they ever will. As for the next Battlefield title, EA confirmed it will be playable this year during their standalone E3 event, EA Play. The event kicks off on June 9th and will probably include the usual mix of teaser trailers, gameplay reveals, and more. BioWare's Anthem, the answer to the looter shooter Destiny 2, will get some time in the spotlight as EA are promising a new inside look at the game. This will be the first new stuff we see of Anthem since the initial gameplay reveal at E3 last year. EA recently delayed the game to Q1 2019 to make room for Battlefield's release this fall. Operation Chimera is currently live on the technical test server for Rainbow Six Siege. All of the new content, including 2 new operators and the Outbreak event, are playable. While the community is somewhat divided on the new operators, Outbreak is being reviewed pretty well. It strikes a balance between the co-op fun of Left 4 Dead 2 and Siege's tactical gameplay. Players are encouraged to use stealth as much as possible to avoid detection, but when things get messy, going loud works pretty well too. After months of PUBG players calling for a ping or region lock to keep players on their own country's server, the developers are finally taking steps to address the issue. Ping-based matchmaking is currently being tested in select regions. Essentially, players with lower pings will be prioritized when adding players to servers. This doesn't seem to prevent players from selecting different regions than they were located, but as long as everyone on a server has close to the same ping, that shouldn't matter. The most recent patch for the game on PC removed being able to see other players in the plane at the start of the match. This was done to optimize early game performance and so far seems to have made a mild improvement for some players. A new UI element was added so you can tell how empty the plane is. The patch also addressed being able to heal and boost instantly. This was a major game-breaking exploit and it's great to see it fixed. Finally, this patch introduced 2 new crates to the game and changed how crates are purchased. Previously, paid and free crates were randomly given to players when they spent their battle points on a random weekly crate purchase. You'll still have a chance of getting the paid crate when you buy the random weekly crate, but you can also just outright buy the paid crate with your battle points. You still have to buy a key to unlock these crates with real money though. As for the future content coming to PUBG, the developers confirmed a new map will be released in the next 4 months. They'll be sharing their 2018 roadmap next month, so hopefully we'll get more details regarding the new map and further optimization of the game. Fortnite got a huge update to the game's 3rd season of content. Highlights of the patch include a proper 60 FPS mode on console, tweaked building mechanics, a new pistol that shoots heavy ammo called the hand cannon, and tweaks to the game's graphics. The new building mechanics are particularly interesting because they allow players to build through destructible objects like trees, vehicles, and buildings. This should really cut down on those moments when some random corner of a building or a branch of a tree prevents you from putting down a life-saving cover. Players can now automatically place building pieces as they move. Also, an option was added to automatically swap materials while building. H1Z1 has lost 91% of its peak player base since July of last year. The game peaked at roughly 150,000 concurrent players, but has been in rapid decline thanks to competition from PUBG and FORTNITE. The game averages 10,000 concurrent players now, with peaks hitting about 14,000. This is all pretty bad news considering the developers are set to reveal the teams for the upcoming H1Z1 Pro League esports event kicking off this spring. The Battle Royale mode for the free-to-play hero-based shooter Paladins is now in open beta. It's called Paladins Battlegrounds, and players on PC can opt into the beta via Steam or as a standalone launcher. Unlike other Battle Royale titles, Paladins gives you 8 heroes to choose from, and loot comes in the form of power-up cards that improve your abilities. It does offer the usual mechanics of a shrinking map and 100 players per match though. For people into hero-based games, this is really the first Battle Royale game that might appeal to them. It looks pretty early in development, so I'm sure a lot will change before the game is ready for prime time. Hunt Showdown is now available via Steam Early Access. It's been in closed alpha for the past couple of weeks. Priced at $30, it's probably the most expensive Battle Royale style game on the market right now. That said, it certainly looks the part. Visually, it's easily the most impressive Battle Royale we've seen to date. Of course, it still has plenty of performance issues. Fortunately, the devs were very quick to fix issues during the closed alpha. They issued several patches, most of which had a noticeable impact on the game in one way or another. The devs expect their early access period to last around 12 months. There's a lot of content already in the game and certainly worth paying attention to for now. The co-op zombie survival game Metal Gear Survive released this week. Since it was first announced, gamers have viewed it as Konami cashing in on the Metal Gear franchise after they fired its creator, Hideo Kojima. Unfortunately, it looks like some of that concern was warranted. The game includes microtransactions, one of which is for additional character save slots. The base game includes a single save slot for your character, so if you want to start a new one, you'll have to either delete your current character or pay $10 to unlock an additional slot. This might be standard practice for your average free-to-play game, but this one actually cost $40 up front. The community is very unhappy about this specific issue, but overall they do seem to be enjoying the game itself. Its reviews on Steam are mostly positive, and the media outlets have been giving it favorable reviews. The remake of the original System Shock had a successful Kickstarter campaign back in 2016. Unfortunately, though, the development has been put on hiatus by the CEO of Night Drive Studios, who are handling the remake. The reason for the hiatus is simply that the game got too big for its own good. The focus shifted from a straight remake to an entirely reworked version of the original game. Night Drive are promising to resume development and deliver it in 18 to 24 months. In our final story this week, Valve have announced the next CSGO Major. It'll be hosted by the ECS organization run by FACEIT, and it'll take place September 20th to 23rd in London. This is the second major event for CSGO of the year and will include 24 teams competing for $1 million. It's also the first major to be hosted by FACEIT and the first major hosted in the UK. Previous majors have all taken place in Sweden, Poland, Germany, Romania, and most recently the US. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what articles you thought were the most interesting or if there was something we missed. And I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap signing off.